hello. Sorry for the technical difficulties in the past few streams, but we got it all figured out. So basically, we are going to be doing a Epstein deep dive today because I don't know like everything. I know a few things. I know, I know some like few things that your average person does know. Oh, by the way, hello, I'm chiropractor. You can follow me on YouTube, TikTok, and Twitch at chiropractor. And yeah, thank you so much for being here. I hope you're having a fantastic, fantabulous day. And thank you to all my latest followers. Thank you to Nawal Guadarrama, my latest follower. Also my husband, sillily enough. Um, mm, so, okay. This one has kind of went down for some reason. Let's just put these back in. Try again. Maybe it's just a bit sensitive, I don't know. Okay. But yes, we're gonna figure this out. It's no biggie. Just, I'm not sure why it's being weird about it. Not just connecting like honey. You know you can connect, right? I don't know, maybe it's because my charger is not the best quality or whatever. I'll put it in this one. I'll try to even charge it with this. Yeah, we'll see how that works. I wonder why it's not showing.
Mommy, don't mind her. It's the demon inside her. It's not her speaking.
It's not even acting like it's doing anything. I don't think regular screen mirroring would work either. See, now I want to pop up.
It's the demon inside her.
Okay, there we go.
I bet.
There we go, right?
So now,
so even more technical difficulties, but I can't get it perfect, you know. I can't get it perfect if it doesn't want to be, you know. So I'm gonna take another hit for this because we're gonna do a Epstein deep dive. High, because I like being high. The thing about Epstein, the things I do know, I know that he is associated with Donald Trump. I know that he has an island. I know that there's sus things with him and kids. I know that there's court cases. I know that there's files to be released. I know that he's associated with Diddy. And there was like one other thing I knew too. I forgot. But it's like all the surface level things that like people have like heard like, spreading anyway, but I don't really know, and I want to like know more about what's going on with that. So I'm gonna kind of look into that. So that's what we're doing. Okay, so let's get right into it. Sorry, hold on. I need to quickly do something. Give me a second. Okay. Give me a second. Comment other things that you'd want me to deep dive into as well. Okay, I'm gonna put some non-copyright. Wait, actually. Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna put some non-copyright music on. I don't know about Minecraft, just because we're always playing a lot of Minecraft over here anyway, so. I'll do Lo-fi. That's fine. Okay. Anyways. Hold on.
Booking.com. The family must depart. Stands to downfall, indeed.
Find exactly what you're booking for. Booking.com? Booking.com?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, this is like really loud.
When Donald Trump's agents threw me to the ground, they were...
Okay. Hold on. What do I need to look up? Oh yeah. Okay. So first of all, we're gonna actually look up who is Epstein, just because that's something that like we don't even know. So yeah. Sorry. There's just a lot going on, and oh, wait a minute. Okay. Okay. There are just some, oh wow. Okay, just some chill, background music in case you want a little beat. Yeah. So we're gonna do who is Epstein, because we don't even know who he is. We don't really know anything about him. So that's
was
the
secretly
first.
Running one of them.
Whoa, super loud. I'm sorry if it's loud for you guys as well. I think the volume is good for you guys though, so I'm not gonna change it. Let me just change it for myself.
The most disturbing illegal operations in modern history. Jeffrey Epstein was a wealthy financier with powerful friends, from politicians to celebrities. But behind the luxury lifestyle, Epstein was running a massive human trafficking ring, targeting underage girls. For years, he used his private island, jets, and mansions to hide his crimes, while staying protected by his elite connections. In 2008, he got a sweetheart deal, serving just 13 months for charges that should have put him away for life. But in 2019, it all came crashing down. Epstein was arrested again, facing federal charges. A month later, he was found dead in his jail cell under suspicious circumstances. Many believe the full truth about his operation and who was involved died with him. Follow for more shocking stories about the crimes of the rich and powerful. This billionaire was secretly running one of the most disturbing...
Okay, let's just give it one more listen, okay?
...illegal operations in modern history.
Okay, so he was running an illegal operation.
Epstein was a wealthy financier with powerful friends, from politicians to celebrities. But behind the luxury lifestyle, Epstein was running a massive human trafficking ring, targeting underage girls. For years, he used his private island, jets, and mansions to hide his crimes while staying protected by his elite connections. In 2008, he got a sweetheart deal, serving just 13 months for charges that should have put him away for.
And it's so crazy because people people act like his friend, the orange. They act like he's like some innocent man. It's just like he literally said weird ass shit about 10-year-olds, about his own daughter, about just so many things. He's just a weirdo. So, yeah.
Life. But in 2019, it all came crashing down. Epstein was arrested again, facing federal charges. A month later, he was found dead in his jail cell under suspicious circumstances. Many believe the full truth about his operation and who was involved died with him. Follow for more shocking stories about the crimes of the rich and powerful. This billionaire was secretly running one of the most...
So that's pretty much like who he is. He had a ring. Wait.
disturbing illegal operations in modern history. Jeffrey Epstein was a wealthy financier with powerful friends, from politicians to celebrities. But behind
this is what happens when you're high.
The luxury lifestyle, Epstein was running a massive human trafficking ring, targeting
so human trafficking
underage girls.
Yeah, that's terrible.
For years, he used his private island jets and
mansions
to hide his crimes.
Okay, so, you know, he used all his money and power to basically human traffic,
while staying protected by his elite connections.
And stayed protected with elite connections, like the orange. So, he's one of them. But, let's light the joint that we have, because we're going to continue this deep dive. We're going to probably look up, like, something even deeper now. Since now we know who he is, I guess, we're just going to go even deeper. This is pretty much, if you don't know who he is, just like me, you're going to find out with me. We're going to be educated about what is this going on over here, what's going on this side of the internet, where everyone's just mentioning him and saying to really just release the files. What are those files? I would try to find out what that is. I'm not sure what they are. I from like what I would assume, I would think it would be like files as far as like people's like court case reports, like, oh, like this happened on this date and this is my report, you know, like those things. I feel like that's what they mean by release the files. But like I said, that I've just heard it, I just haven't really looked into it, and those are the only like surface level things I knew. But I mean, that video, it pretty much did cover what I kind of knew, I guess. Like, he had an island, and then stuff with underage girls, but I didn't know it was like human trafficking and stuff. Like, I guess I didn't know like all the extents of everything, so that just kind of like gave me a little more information. Okay, so now we need an Epstein deep dive. Okay.
There are so many people on this app that are pretending to be investigative reporters. Becca Day is not one of them. Every time I see her pop up, first of all, her delivery is chef's kiss, as they say. Line by line, she goes through piece by piece of this investigation. I don't know if you are watching her coverage on the Epstein files or if she has a staff at this point. I know that she has a podcast, I believe, and a partner that does the podcast with her. But when I tell you, I have been following her for a brief period of time, but I've paid attention to her content, and she just kept coming up on my For You page. And every single time I'm sat with a notebook, I'm sat paying attention. I can watch her while I'm eating. I can watch her while I'm folding laundry. I don't know if this is what she was wanted to do, but this is what she was meant to do.
Wait, sorry. I don't think this is like an Epstein.
Have you ever
book.
had a personal relationship with Donald Trump?
What do you mean by personal relationships?
Have you socialized with him?
Yes, sir.
Yes?
Yes, sir.
Have you ever socialized with Donald Trump in the presence of females under the age of 18?
Though I'd like to answer that question, at least today, I'm going to have to assert my 5th, 6th, and 14th Amendment rights, sir.
Have you ever had a personal relationship with Donald Trump?
Fifth,
What
sixth,
do you
and
mean by
14th.
personal relationships?
Have you socialized with him?
Yes, sir.
Yes?
Yes, sir.
Have you ever socialized with Donald Trump in the presence of females under the age of 18?
Though I'd like to answer that question, at least today, I'm going to have to assert my 5th, 6th, and 14th.
Yeah. Guilty. Why is no one talking about the DNA magic in the Epstein book and how it shows cult magic and how it's used? Quasispis live in sequence space. Happy birthday. Crazy. Okay. Dark magic in Epstein Island. What was going on? Personae, self-reflections, reflective processes, deliberative processes, reactive processes. Dang.
My name is Marina Lacerda. I was minor victim 1 in federal indictment of Jeffrey Epstein in New York in 2019. I was one of dozens of girls that I personally know who were forced into Jeffrey's mansion on 9 East 71 Street in New York City when we were just kids. Today is the first time that I ever speak publicly about what happened to me. I never thought that I would find myself here. The only reason that I am here is because it feels like the people who matter in this country finally care about what we have to say. As an immigrant from Brazil, I feel empowered knowing that the little girl struggling to get by at 14 and 15 years old finally has a voice. For the first time, I feel like I matter as an American. I was only 14 years old when I met Jeffrey. It was the summer of high school. I was working 3 jobs to try to support my mom and my sister when a friend of mine in the neighborhood told me that I could make $300 to give an older guy a massage. It went from a dream job to the worst nightmare. Jeffrey assistant Leslie Groff would call me and tell me that I needed to be at the house so often that I ended up dropping out of high school before 9th grade. And I never went back. From 14 to 17 years old, I went and worked for Jeffrey instead of receiving an education. Every day I hoped that he would offer me a real job as one of his assistants or something important. I would finally have made it big, as like we say, the American dream. That day never came. I had no way out. I was, until he finally told me that I was too old. There are many pieces of my story that I can't remember, no matter how hard I try. The constant state of wonder causes me so much fear and so much confusion.
Dang,
My
that's
therapist
crazy.
says that my brain is just trying to protect itself. But it's so hard to begin to heal knowing that there are people out there who know more about my abuse than I do. The worst part is that the government is still in possession right now of the documents and information about that could help me remember and get over all of this maybe and help me heal. They have documents with my name on them that were confiscated from Jeffrey Epstein's house and could help me put the pieces of my own life back together. But I don't have any of it. And I know the same is true for many of these women. We are here to support this bill today, not only for transparency, but for the American people. But if the government is going to release these documents to the public, describing the crimes committed by Jeffrey Epstein and others, the least that they can do is give me my documents that they have about me. The other survivors
Yeah.
deserve the same respect from our
Yeah.
government.
Why can't they
While
just give them
identifying
back
information
theirs, at least? Like, what
must
the
be
heck?
redacted to the public, it is equally important to provide the victims themselves with unredacted information. I will never forget when the FBI agent showed up in my door in 2008. Jeffrey Epstein hired a lawyer to represent me, or more like to represent him, I like to say. I couldn't ask any questions, and I had no idea what was going on. I was terrified. Until today, I think most of us are still terrified. I thought somebody was going to kill me. I thought something was going to happen to my sister and my mother. It went further out to even maybe thinking something would happen in Brazil with my family.
I have a callus.
And then one day, the lawyer said that everything was just gonna go away. Like nothing happened. I didn't need to testify. When I asked him why, he gave no explanation. That was it. So why? Why was I never called to testify then? We could have saved so many women. We could have saved so many lives from being abused. Why did he get away with it in 2008? Why was he able to go on in the abuse with hundreds of girls after the Florida investigation?
That's insane.
Why didn't they let me testify to help stop him? Our government could have saved so many women, but Jeffrey Epstein was too important and those women didn't matter. Why? Well, we matter now. We are here today and we are speaking and we are not going to stop speaking.
That is actually so insane. Like, what the heck? That's crazy. Dang, PBS is like a real one, for real.
Why is the FBI not looking for this guy? He stood up right after the shot was taken. He turned around where the shooter was and he starts cheering like we did it. This is supposedly one of Charlie's good friends. He's giving baseball signals and then this guy's giving more baseball signals. He's right behind him. What's going on? Why is the FBI not looking for this guy? He stood up right after the shot was taken. He turned around where the shooter was and he starts cheering like we did it.
What?
This is supposedly one of Charlie's good friends. He's giving baseball signals, and then this guy's giving more baseball signals. He's right behind him. What's going on?
What? Okay, I'll watch that later,
Here's the footage
and you can look into it if you want to see.
We hear a lot about what Jeffrey Epstein has done, but who was he? Let's take a look at his past. Jeffrey Epstein was born on January 20th, 1953 in Brooklyn, New York. He came from a working-class family. His father worked for the New York City Parks and Recreation Department, and his mom was a stay-at-home mom. And everybody who knew Jeffrey Epstein when he was younger only has good things to say about him. They said he was a sweet guy, he was quiet and nerdy, and he even was given the nickname Epi as a child. Jeffrey also started playing the piano at the age of 5, and he was regarded as being a very talented musician. He eventually graduated high school in 1969 and then went on to university, but he never finished his degree. Now this is where it gets interesting. So in the year 1974, Jeffrey Epstein starts teaching physics and mathematics at a local school. The headmaster of the school was known for hiring random people, and it's unclear how Jeffrey Epstein got hired, but he wasn't qualified to be teaching there. And according to former students who had him as a teacher, he paid extremely close attention to the young female students. Obviously all these girls were minors at the time that he was teaching, since this was high school, but he was also known to show up at parties where minors were drinking and hang out with them. But eventually, through his teaching job, Jeffrey Epstein was introduced to this man, Alan Greenberg. Alan Greenberg was the CEO of the investment bank Bear Stearns, and his son and daughter attended the school that Jeffrey Epstein was teaching at. And eventually, once it was found out that Jeffrey Epstein wasn't qualified for the job and his performance was poor, he was fired, and he then was recruited by Alan to join Bear Stearns. Now, this is where Jeffrey Epstein moves into the financial world and starts making a lot of money. He eventually worked his way up the ladder at Bear Stearns, but was eventually let go because of a violation with his work. He then founded his own investment company, and this is where things get really strange. Jeffrey told friends at the time that he oftentimes worked for governments to help them recover embezzled funds, and he would also work for people who had embezzled funds. He also told some of his friends at the time that he worked as an intelligence agent. One fact that could point out that this might have been true is that Jeffrey Epstein had possession of an Australian passport with his photo on it but a different name. His place of residence was also listed as being Saudi Arabia. This relates back to one of the later cases in Jeffrey Epstein's life when a U.S. district attorney stated that they were initially told to leave Jeffrey Epstein's case alone because he was considered to be a part of intelligence. There are a lot of connections that do point to Jeffrey Epstein possibly being some sort of intelligence agent, but if you want me to cover some of those, I can make a whole different TikTok. Eventually though, Jeffrey Epstein was this rich bachelor living in New York City. You can even look at one of these ads that was taking out about Jeffrey Epstein looking for a woman. This is a very eerie ad considering what he went on to do with his life. And if you want me to talk more about Jeffrey Epstein's life, let me know in the comments below. Make it part 2. We hear a lot about what Jeffrey Epstein has done, but who was he? Let's take a look at his past. Jeffrey Epstein was born on January 20th, 1953 in Brooklyn, New York. He came from a working class family. His father worked for the New York City Parks and Recreation Department, and his mom was a stay-at-home mom.
Okay, I have to check on my audio, so let's see.
And everybody who knew Jeffrey Epstein.
Okay. Let's see if that was heard. Okay. Okay, yeah, I think the audio is coming in, so sorry, just needed to check, make sure everything was good, and we're good. We can continue now. So yes. Back to back to this. Okay.
When he was younger, only has good things to say about him.
What else do we need to know about him? Epstein Island, I guess we can do that. Yeah.
The pedophile island.
Oh.
It's called the pedophile island.
In 2005.
Trigger warning, because this is probably gonna be crazy.
The Palm Beach Police Department received reports of young women going to and from his residence.
There's an ever-revolving door of girls.
Who else was underage?
Oh, those girls brought other girls. Real testimony. Listen up.
Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give in the matter now pending shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am. Would you please state your full name?
I'm Jeffrey Edward Epstein, and my residence address is 6100 Red Hook Boulevard in Virgin Islands.
Virgin Islands? Do you maintain any other residences presently?
I have vacation homes in New Mexico, Palm Beach, New York, and Paris.
And the Virgin
Wait, that's the islands?
Have you ever been convicted of a crime?
Yes.
What was the crime of which you were convicted?
Listen up.
Two counts. One, soliciting prostitution and procuring a minor for prostitution.
You heard that straight from his mouth, right?
Did you in fact commit those acts?
I'm going to invoke my Fifth Amendment right.
How many times have you solicited a minor for prostitution?
Same answer.
How many times have you solicited a minor for prostitution in the state of Florida?
Same answer.
Have you ever solicited a minor for prostitution in the Virgin Islands?
Same answer.
That is indeed. You are invoking your Fifth Amendment.
He's invoking his Fifth Amendment.
Have you ever solicited for prostitution in New York?
Same answer.
Have you ever solicited for prostitution in New Mexico?
Same answer.
Have you ever solicited for prostitution in Paris?
Same answer.
Or solicited a minor for prostitution anywhere at any time?
Again, I'm going to assert my right.
Let's take
Did
another
you
break.
ever-
We're going to go off the record. So you are terminating the deposition at this time? No recess in the deposition.
Look at the second part.
College did you attend? Cooper Union. And did you get a degree from Cooper Union? No, sir. How many years were you in college? I believe 2. What'd you study? Physics. But isn't it true that you were a teacher at the Dalton School in New York?
What?
After college.
Wow.
It's just unheard of. It's just an unbelievable scheme to have kept going for that long of a period of time. Do you consider yourself to be bisexual? No.
Oh, but he think it twice.
In any event, you did develop a sexual relationship with Leslie Wexner at some point in time. Is that true? No. Mr. Epstein, how long have you been sexually attracted to underage minor females? Objection. Harassing, argumentative. Are you kidding?
Argumentative?
I mean, I don't feel like I'm divulging any secrets here, right?
They're exposing him right there.
Mr. Epstein.
Wow.
Were you sexually abused as a minor? Wait, again? Were you sexually abused as a minor?
He probably had it to be sexual abuse.
If any questions seem to be relevant.
For you to
I'd like to respond to questions
to
at this
think
time.
about
However, my
the question.
counsel that I cannot provide answers to the questions relevant to this lawsuit today. I must accept their advice or risk losing my Sixth Amendment right to effective representation.
Oh my God.
And I assert my Fifth.
This guy is real evil.
Amendment right to the United States Constitution.
The third part, September 9, 2009.
Which way, your right hand?
Listen.
Yes.
Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes, I do.
Is it true, sir, that you have what's been described as an egg-shaped penis?
What?
I had hired psychologists to do the psychological profile on Jeffrey Epstein.
Listen up.
What type of person he was, and
Wait.
what would actually get under his skin.
What?
What made
What
him
does that
tick
mean?
Was that he was a narcissist. He had no ability to feel empathy.
Wow.
What does that mean?
And saw himself as the master of puppets, so to speak. Sir, one witness described your penis as oval-shaped and claimed when erect it was thick towards the bottom, but was thin and small towards the head portion.
Wow.
And called it egg-shaped. Those are not my words, I apologize. But as Mr.
Can I get a
Wagner,
paper bag?
as Mr.
Like,
Creighton has stated that this
I don't
is
even have one, but I need one.
Mister?
I'm willing to continue.
Wow.
I hate to call him
So he did have sexual relationships with men and women.
and in control of his world.
You can see his
As
face
soon
right
as he
there. That
feels
he's not
he's
happy.
out of control, it's unsettling to him.
Complaint filed.
Remember Virginia Roberts?
Isn't it true, sir, that a friend of yours sent you 3 12-year-old females?
3 12-year-olds.
Sexually abused on
3.
your birthday. Form argumentative.
Is that the orange guy? Cause
Harassing and irrelevant to this lawsuit. But you saying it's part of the lawsuit? Yeah, I'll read it directly.
Listen.
It was Jeffrey's birthday when
On one of defendant Epstein's birthdays, a friend of defendant Epstein sent him 3 12-year-old girls from France
Wow.
who spoke no English.
They spoke
were
no
defended
English.
To sexually exploit and abuse. After doing so, they were sent back to France the next day.
Wow.
Isn't that true? Once again, I'm going to move to strike. Irrelevant, argumentative,
what?
harassing. I would like to answer that question. I really would.
Are they on the side? Like, what's going on?
However, today, my attorneys have told me I have to assert my Fifth Amendment, Sixth Amendment,
Oh, attorney.
and 14th Amendment rights of the U.S.
what about the judge? Why is the judge not overriding things and being like, no, like, I don't think that's argumentative. Like, I think you should answer that. I feel like that's like within the realms of like information that we're allowed to get, you know? Why is it just so easy to just be like, oh, that's too argumentative, that's just too much information, stop right there? Like, I mean, it's not even that much information. Like, can we be chill? I don't know.
You're invoking your Fifth Amendment rights to each of these questions because you know that your answers will
incriminate you,
and you feel that it will result in you being prosecuted for those crimes. Isn't that right?
Objection, argumentative, harassing, and calls for a legal conclusion.
No, in fact, the Supreme Court recently said that the Fifth Amendment right is there to protect the innocent. So, I'd like to answer that.
Look at what the Palm Beach State Union put.
Sometimes you have to report back to jail on a daily basis.
Yes, I report back to jail at 8 p.m.
Every single day?
Yes, sir.
And is it 7 days a week that you're out on work release?
No, sir.
How many days a week are you out on work release?
6.
Wow. And of those days, how many hours per day are you out on work release?
12.
We're back on the video record at 12:02 p.m.
Let's talk about Django 102, Virginia Roberts. Do you know Virginia Roberts?
So she's again who?
Virginia Roberts.
Can you spell it?
Oh my God.
Common spelling. Virginia, like the state.
Can you spell
And Robert.
For me, please?
Roberts.
What's the last name? How's it spelled?
What, girl?
Roberts.
It doesn't even matter how it's spelled.
Isn't it true
Just,
that you
do you
and
remember
Glenn
that
Maxwell
person, you know?
celebrated her 16th birthday with her and had sex with her on that day?
Wow.
Form, compound, confusing, argumentative, and harassing.
I'd like to answer that question. But today, I'm going to have to assert my Sixth Amendment rights, my Fifth Amendment rights.
Okay, like,
Is it true that you forced Virginia Roberts to have sex with numerous friends?
Assessing that, whatever.
Are you kidding?
Somehow his lawyers had worked out a deal
He keeps
with the U.S.
pleading.
Attorney's Office.
He keeps pleading the fifth.
There was more evidence of the fact he was powerful and he could fix whatever thing came up.
This case was one of the worst
That's
failures
insane.
of the criminal justice system.
There was no way that anybody could look at this and think this was okay.
These are the
There
victims.
are enough survivors
Part of the
that
victims.
refuse to give up.
Okay, the pedophile island.
Crazy, man. Also, I love his username. Boriguas for Kamala. Boriguas for Kamala. Boriguas for Kamala. I don't know. Hopefully I said that right. But yeah. Also, it was like 3 in the morning when I started this. Right now it's 4:19. So yes, it's very late. But I just was like, who is this guy? Why does everyone talk about him? Let's figure some things out about who he is, I guess. I don't know. Okay. Now, next, Epstein files.
Is in the Epstein file.
Republicans blocked.
Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. So now all of a sudden, the Republicans who were so aggressively intent on releasing the Epstein files because they were going to be a huge, explosive story about Democrats involved with Jeffrey Epstein are quiet. So the irony of these Republicans accusing the Democrats now of only being interested in this is for political purposes is so thick that it is almost sucking us into the quicksand. But let's go a step further. Let's go a step further. Because now the cover-up is getting so deep and so intense that this committee, which has oversight over the Department of Justice and would ordinarily be the one that is doing this investigation, is running away from it. Why? Because Chairman Comer is the useful idiot who will do the cover-up for Donald Trump. Donald Trump is in the Epstein.
Dang. So, yeah, not surprising, obviously, but yeah.
Republicans blocked the release of the Epstein files for the fourth time now. This happened, I think, yesterday when everybody was panicking over the shooting. And I just want to point out the fact that the reason why the Republicans don't want the Epstein files released is because they're protecting the president, who is on the list, and Jeffrey Epstein, who was a Mossad agent. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Jeffrey Epstein was a Mossad agent working at the behest of Israel to gather blackmail on world leaders. Didn't matter whether it was Bill Clinton or
I'll have to do more research on what that is.
Donald Trump or Prince Andrew or Mohammed bin Salman. His job was to gather blackmail on politicians, celebrities, world leaders, etc., etc., etc. Also, a fuckload of the Republicans in the House, in the Senate, in Congress all went to that island. And a bunch of Democrats, don't get me wrong. However, here's the thing. Every single Democrat voted to release the Epstein files, and only 4 Republicans did. Every other Republican, except for the 4, voted to lock them up because they don't believe that you should see them because they are protecting their fredophile president, Donald Trump. So listen, demand the release of the Epstein files. I do find it a little bit of a coincidence that Charlie Kirk, who was Trump's best boy, suddenly started to bring up the Epstein files to the point where Donald Trump had to call Charlie Kirk personally and tell him to shut the fuck up. And then, of course, as you remember, Charlie was like, listen, I'm going to trust my friends in the government. I'm not going to talk about the Epstein files anymore. Listen, I don't know, maybe I'm crazy, but some things are, they're just like right in front of your face. And if you just open your fucking eyes, you can fucking see them.
That's crazy.
Okay, so what's your preference? What would you... Okay, so what's your preference?
I already
Donald
seen
Trump
that video.
had specifically asked about me because I remind him of his daughter, and she said, well, she's 13 as well.
Disgusting.
Donald Trump had specifically asked about me because I remind him of his daughter, and she said, well, she's 13 as well. So he knew the first time that he saw me. But he comes over mad because I was crying, and he said that I should be thankful that someone like Donald Trump took my virginity. He basically didn't say took my virginity. He said, I should be glad that someone like Donald Trump popped my cherry and not some pimply little 14-year-old. And I just was like, what if I said, what if I get pregnant? Not even talking to him. I didn't want to talk to him. I was talking to Tiffany. And he said, well, you'll get an abortion then, bitch, and then just walked away.
Why the Jeffrey Epstein case would be of interest to anybody. It's pretty boring stuff. It's sordid, but it's boring.
Donald Trump had specific...
That is fucking insane. Like, what? That is insane. That is insane. What the heck? I mean, it's not even that surprising considering like what he already says in public, the clips that we already know, like him saying, like him literally saying like, oh, like if she wasn't my daughter and stuff, like that's just so weird. So I mean, it already lines up, it matches up. It's just it's so nasty. I agree with this. Okay, now it's not
He asked about me because
showing.
I remind him of his daughter.
Okay, now it is. Sorry. Let me see. The audio.
And she said, well, she's 13.
Okay, I agree with this. You cannot be both a Christian and a Trump supporter. You cannot be both a Christian and a Trump supporter. Yeah, you cannot be a Christian. Yeah, you cannot be a Christian. Why is that such a really hard word to say? Like, honestly, I don't know. But yes, you cannot be both a Christian, a Christian, there we go, a Christian. I feel like it said something like that. It's like shin, and I feel like, I don't know, that part's weird to say. You cannot be both a Christian and a Trump supporter. I agree with that, because how could you be like, what? That's weird. Like, he literally does so many weird things, and you're okay with that, so weirdo. See, that's what I was saying. Well, he did make he did make comments publicly about his daughter's figure, and that he would be dating her if she wasn't his daughter. That's exactly what I was saying. Like, I agree with that 100%. Like, you cannot trust that man. Yeah, I think that wait, let's see one more thing, and yeah.
Well, sort of, that's what she said I did to her. She fainted with great emotion. She actually indicated that she loved it. Okay? She loved it until commercial break. In fact, I think she said it was sexy, didn't she? It was very sexy to be raped. Didn't she say that?
So, sir, I just want to confirm, it's your testimony that E. Jean Carroll said that she loved being sexually assaulted by you?
Well, based on her interview with Anderson Cooper, well, sort of, that's what she said I did to her.
What?
She fainted with great emotion. She actually indicated that she loved it. Okay? She loved it until commercial break. In fact, I think she said it was sexy, didn't she? It was very sexy to be raped.
What?
Didn't she say that?
So, sir, I just want to confirm, it's your testimony that E. Jean Carroll said that she loved being sexually assaulted by you?
Well, based on her interview with...
What? Okay, why is he in office right now? Like, I don't, honestly, okay, first of all, how is he back in office if he was already impeached? Like, I feel like I'm living in like an alternate timeline where everything's just fucked and everything's just so weird, and like, it's like, why is everything just dark? Like, anyways, yeah, like, I just don't get how he was impeached and then he still was able to get the job again. It does not make sense to me. Like, if you're fired from a job that important, why would they hire you again? Like, why? I don't get it. I don't get that. Okay, anyways,
We're gonna wrap the Charlie Kirk shit up by the weekend. And we're gonna get back to them Epstein files. Where they at? Fuck all that shit. Where they at? I know we just been having a whole bunch of conversations about the left and the right and all.
okay, I agree with the outrage, but I am gonna like try to look for like an informational, like, more like, you know, like all the other videos.
I feel a little bit compelled to show you guys some things that I found in this email that stood out to me that I could preview in the files, because Some of the files I couldn't preview on my phone. I might have to look on my computer later, but we'll start with the part 1. Let's get into this gross. This is like, you guys really need to, like, if you're here to understand what's going on and to know the truth, okay, it might get ugly. It might disturb. So let's just prepare ourselves for that. So I haven't done this in a while. Hold on. I do not remember how to make myself smaller, but different things like this. And also, this is what people mean when they talk about, like, they don't want us to know cursive, but clearly we could see that as a letter from Bill Clinton.
Bill Clinton?
A letter from Bill Clinton.
Wait.
Oh, cursive.
Jeffrey, happy 50th. It's... I know cursive, so let me decipher the message for you guys, okay? Let me decipher it. Jeffrey, happy 50th. It's something, ain't it? To love I have no clue what this shit says. What the fuck? Okay, this is not like clean cursive, let's just say that. Okay, let me just read it like as if it doesn't matter, and then at the end I'll try to like tell you what I think it is. Happy 50th. It's amazing. It's amazing, ain't it, to live life your way. Never all the years of learning, all knowing. And absolutely, and would. Literally, what does this say? Like, at all. And kill, to wave you, childlike curiosity, the drive to make a difference, and the set see a friend. Bill Clinton. Okay. Basically, he said happy birthday, and that he's youthful. Basically, I don't fucking know.
But
okay,
clearly we can see that as a letter from Bill Clinton. Okay, for context, I really need you guys to read this. And then when I was cursive, but clearly we can see that as a letter from Bill Clinton. Okay,
dear Jeffrey. Okay, Alan M. Dershowitz, December 11th, 2002. So, okay, yeah. Dear Jeffrey, as a birthday gift to you, I managed to obtain an early version of the Vanity Unfair article. I talked them into changing the focus from you to Bill Clinton, as you will see from the enclosed excerpt. Happy birthday and best regards. Okay.
For context, I really need you guys to read this. And then when I was talking in that one video about smoke screens and hoaxes, take a look at this. Right. I want you all to also know that Jeffrey and his friends, his posse, had very crude, rude humor, and just, he was surrounded by guys exactly like him and women exactly like him. Take a look at this.
I've done a lot of soul searching, and I've came to the conclusion that I should be thinking less about money and more about naked women and biomethical research. Crazy.
This.
No excuses. Too fat, too much. Please stop. No, I will not stop the chronometer. Keep going.
More humor. This is from a friend named Nick. This is a gross and disgusting letter that Nick had to say about a couple of girlfriends I guess he had. I really don't remember the context, but this is going to be a quick little shift, and you guys really need to make sure your screenshot game is on. Like, let's be for real. I gotta... okay, I'm doing it. Okay.
Whoa, what?
Yeah. I know.
Whoa.
Okay, I'm doing it. Okay.
I'm gonna try my pause game. Let's see.
Okay. Okay. I'm doing it. Okay.
Okay, anyways. You very dear boy, going back into the past, as I have over the last few days, has in some ways proved a melancholy experience. All the old criminals suddenly came leaping out at me. Mac, Ogilvy, Swire, Baring, Alphonse, the Brigadier, the old man, and all good times that we had together. One of the sad things in life is that fate conspires to move people apart to the extent that I hardly see you anymore. But I suppose that is why we are compensated by memories. Blank, or no. Is that blank? No, those are stars, okay? Stars. I was speaking to BB last night before writing this email, and we both agreed that we were at a loss to decide which of the hundreds of hilarious incidents to pinpoint for you. There are just too many. Inspecting the Royal School girls' dorms, chasing rabbits with Toto in the old man's Dino, trying to get blank husband out of the way in Manila, blocking Ogilvy's Lou with the illegal goose at Baring's wedding, doing 3-point turns in Tunnel HK when we asked the Mandarin driver to find us some girls dancing the night away in Tin Mine in KL, message classes at Raxol, and so on and so on. It brings tears to my eyes. However, there was one evening which I recall always had you howling with laughter. We were in Harry's bar in London. You, me, the old men, Toto, Blank, and the usual extraordinary group of camp followers, Long, Ian Cruikshank, etc., etc. Somehow Toto got it into his head tramps, and Toto and Doggy got into the back in Doggy's car with Blank sitting between panties and put his hand on her pussy. The old man, smiling sweetly, leaned over, stuffed his truth sunk in, but Toto was too shocked to remove his hand, so they drove to Tramps with both of them still trapped in blank knickers. Who's Toto? Okay. All my love and a very, very happy birthday, with many more years to come in the future than there are years behind you, Nick. Okay, that is absolutely insane.
Here,
okay.
I really just need you.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, let's be for real. I gotta seen this.
Okay.
Like, yeah, I know plenty of you guys have seen this.
Dear Jeffrey, happy 50th. Okay, we have balloons, cake, plane, girls, Joelle. Okay, this reminds me of MTV, like Girls Talk. Like, I used to watch that when I was like 12. But yeah, it was like grown ladies talking about you know, just experiences dating, being like, you know, girls, you know, whatever, periods, dating, whatever.
And then this was in the book. I don't care if it was planted there, it came from somewhere. Your boy DJT is all in here. I really.
The name, okay, I see it. Jeffrey Schwenk, Cali talents with money, women, sells fully dedicated DT for 22,500. Shoot early people sells Joe. Okay, I can't really read this writing, but from through I handled the deal. I don't got any of the money on the evil. I don't know.
Just need you guys to wrap your minds around that fact that he's all in there. And if it wasn't such a big freaking deal, the files would be released by now. Yes, the letter was also
okay. Let's see this.
In the book with the signature. I want you guys. They would be released by now. Yes, the letter was.
Okay, voiceover. There must be more to life than having everything. Donald. Yes, there is, but I won't tell you what it is. Jeffrey. Nor will I, since I also know what it is. Donald. We have certain things in common, Jeffrey. Jeffrey. Yes, we do, come to think of it. Donald. Enigmas never age. Have you noticed that? Jeffrey. As a matter of fact, it was clear to me the last time I saw you. Donald. A pal is a wonderful thing. Happy birthday, and may every day be another wonderful secret. Whoa, secret? That's so weird. And then DJT, and then his signature, and then a woman's body. So yeah, I was like kind of seeing that circulate around line, but I didn't like read it. That's like insane. Like I saw like the woman's body like picture, but I didn't like read the inside. Because I think I seen it on like some thumbnails and just like in like, basically just in passing, like didn't look into it yet.
It's also in the book with the signature. I want you guys to look at this picture with your eyes wide open.
Okay, eyes wide open. You look better than you did years ago when we first met. I love you always, or love always. Okay. So the curtains are green. Looks like they're a little bloody, maybe. Someone's like playing on the piano. People are like laying down. There's lots of chairs. People are like, are there like lots of people sitting in the chairs? And then there's like people laying down. I'm not sure what the picture.
Yeah. This is a letter from his girlfriend. And that's why those women in The Handmaid's Tale that were complacent with where they were at, you guys need to recognize that these women exist, like women like Ghislaine.
Okay, let's see. I received a call from Ghislaine. I don't know what it says. Who I had worked on, massaged twice in the last few months to work on her employer. He is a businessman and wants you to work on his feet at his desk, she said. My first thought was corns and bunions and Kermadigan of men. When I first set eyes on you on March 22nd, 1993, you were sitting behind an enormous desk in your office at home on 69th Street in a jean shirt and sweatpants, and your feet were possibly the most beautiful that I had ever seen belonging to a man. I remember thinking that you looked like a more handsome Ralph Lauren. We moved over to a sitting area, and I sat on a footstool and worked on your feet while you in a armchair, or you were in an armchair, watched me, or while you in an armchair watched me and Ghislaine worked on your shoulders. After a few minutes, you gave me that squinched eye look, a mix of calculation and enjoyment, both devouring and yet submissive. That is so you, and moaned a bit, and I thought, okay, this is going well. Within 10 minutes of my being there, you asked me to leave with you guys that night to go to Florida. I had never heard of anything so soon so spontaneous. I had never heard of anything so spontaneous and far-fetched, and yet I know that you were serious. I had a previous engagement. I was throwing a dinner party, and so I said yes. You would see me when you got back and have your security call and schedule. You did, and my life was forever changed. I am grateful.
And yeah, of course, it's all cursive. I guess Elliot won't know a lot about him and
okay, well, I guess I unencrypted that one for you guys, so I don't know cursive.
He started dating Maxwell.
Jeffrey,
yeah. Now
I remember.
Won't know a lot about him and
Jeffrey, I remember in the mid-1970s you being a star salesman for our tax advantage strategies and hedged option program. I was running an account for Bob Maxwell. You always had the ability to know everyone and be charming. Was that when you first discovered the Maxwell teenage daughter? Happy birthday, Elliot Woke. What the heck?
Knew when he started dating Maxwell. Yeah. Now it is time for some names. Here you go. More names that I found interesting.
Wait, names?
Knew when he started dating Maxwell. Yeah. Now it is time for some names. Here you go.
Tolman Brett, Tolman Mr. and Mrs., Tolman Siri and Gavin, Tolman Wine, Tube Veronica, Tracy Phillip, Trump Blaine and Robert, Trump Ivana, Trump Ivanka. You.
More names that I found interesting.
Trump, Robert and Blaine, Turner Jenny, Tucker Chris, Turlington Christie, Turnbull Governor Charles, Turner Miles Cresswell, Tyson Chessie Francesca, Urbiola Jorge, or Bloha Jorge, Vahab Zadeh, Raj and Linda, Han Sophie, Van William. Okay, there's a lot of names. You can read them. The rest. Okay. But yeah.
Things like massages that they used to perform. Also in there. Check out that right there. Yeah. Yoo-hoo. Like, are you kidding me? Police? I don't even know, like, I don't know the extent of the relationship, but the police? Duh, there's a lot more to come, but no matter how you spin this book is filled with people that are at the top. They are trying to hide this from us, and they are also trying to make a huge distraction, huge smokescreen from all this stuff, because a man just got fired for having ties to Jeff. So take that as you will. I will be uploading another one if you guys are interested. If you're not, like, I won't waste my time with it, because I also do TikTok shop on here. So I really am just putting my page at risk. I really don't care. I've been doing it.
That is crazy. But yes, I feel like that is the deep dive. Let me see. Yeah, I feel like that's the deep dive. I feel like we learned, a good amount. I know a lot more now, and yeah, that is just, yeah, I get it now. It's very crazy. It's a lot, and yeah, it's scary. It's scary out here. It's scary in America right now, with these people in charge, with nothing being done to them. Nothing happening. They can be impeached and then just walk through the door with a new mustache on, just like, just like Jackbox. Like, it doesn't matter. Just like, it's like, oh, I'm not Donald, I'm Jay Trump. It's just like, okay. But yeah, I mean, I digress. But yeah, so I feel like, you know, life life can be good. Life can get better. We can try to, I don't know, we'll see what happens with things. We can try to remain positive. Hopefully we can. Hopefully those files do get released so we can find out more about that. Hopefully, some arrest can actually happen or something from this, because this is like insane. And I feel like there needs to be limits to like what this country stands for and how much they're willing to do, and like when is enough? Like, when are you guys going to step in and be like, okay, this is not presidential, this does not represent the country, like, we don't want this to represent us, so we're gonna remove you, we're gonna take you out because you're disgusting, like, why is nothing being done yet? Anyways, I hope everyone has a fantastic, amazing day, and yeah, I'm gonna be getting off now, so yeah, you can follow me on YouTube, TikTok, and Twitch at Chiropractor. Goodbye.